Good morning, everybody. This morning I'm live at the Supreme Court here in Washington, D.C. The Dobbs versus Jackson hearing. The opening arguments are beginning inside the Supreme Court, which is right behind me. You can see right there. The justices are hearing oral arguments beginning today on a pretty groundbreaking case that is kind of being dubbed the challenger to Roe v. Wade. So it's a pretty important day for the history of women's health care in our country. And I personally felt it was an important day for me to be present to see the state, I guess, a little bit of the pro-life movement, which is, obviously fighting to have abortion made illegal in our country. But I also wanted to be here a little bit to see the other side, the other argument, because there is also a very large counter presence here of women that support unrestricted abortion access right up to the point of delivering a baby. And so they have a strong contingency here as well. And so I'm just going to walk through the crowd a little bit more. It's pretty loud and crazy, tons of media. You can see lot of graphic images. We've got a lot of Students for Life here, Reverse Roe. We also have a very strong presence here of pretty radical, kind of extreme pro-lifers. I'm gonna just turn my camera here in a little bit to let you see. There's a lot of repent or perish, trust Jesus, cry to God. I'm gonna just show you, just so you can kind of see the. It's a little crazy here today, honestly. We kind of have the extremes of both sides, I think, which is a little unfortunate in terms of there isn't a lot of productive conversation. But places like this aren't really where the productive conversations happen. That's one-on-one. So right now I'm walking through the area of abortion access for all. Support facts are important. So just wanting to kind of share with you the sense of what's happening out here today to help you see. Vote out anti-choice politicians. We've got a lot of people. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, perfect. And I'm gonna, try to have some kind of hopefully some productive conversations today with women on both sides of this issue, because I'm finding that as I actually get to speak with people that are pretty politically opposite maybe of where I stand on things, that we do have a lot of common ground. I think that so many people here that are fighting for, the right to abortion, they're equating this with women's health care as a female bodily autonomy issue. But so many of them also really believe in women's rights to, have access to fertility care and knowledge, and birth choices, and access to midwifery care. And we're not so different in all ways. And there is common ground, and there are conversations that we can be having that are productive. But I think one of the things that I've been noticing coming from the pro-abortion side here today is they are incredibly effective at raising funds. As I've been standing here listening to some of the representatives from Planned Parenthood and from different abortion providers, every one of them has said, it is your duty to get involved. It is your duty to be supporting our cause. It is your duty to be financially invested in this issue. And so I think that's been a little bit surprising to me at how bold and how direct that this movement is, recognizing that women's health care, as they see it, is being challenged right now. In 6 months, we could have a very different women's health care landscape in our country. We could very likely see Roe overturned. There's a strong possibility that Roe will be overturned in 6 months from now. And they're beginning to put the resources in place to keep abortion in some way accessible to all women. And so I think it's important for us to recognize that we have just a tremendous opportunity right now, those of us in women's healthcare, to tell women the truth about how their bodies were made, to help women find providers and alternatives and options. This is a tremendous opportunity for us at this unique moment in history and in time, that I just want everyone to, kind of be aware that even if Roe is overturned, this battle is far from done. This is a long game we're playing. We're going to be trying to expand access to services that Guiding Star does for many months to come. It's going to be critical that we're able to really mobilize, because the other side is 100% mobilizing at this moment. 100%. They are preparing for a battle. I'm going to just share my camera. I'm going to turn it around for you just for a second to see. Let me see if I can do this. Well, I don't know if I can turn it, but I'm going to just turn it here so you guys can kind of see what's happening here. So far the crowds are peaceful for the most part, angry but peaceful. Abortion is healthcare. That's a pretty strong sentiment that I'm seeing. A lot of my body, my choice, my body, my business. This is an issue that is far from dead in our country right now. I think it's important for us to just really be aware that the abortion debate is definitely still raging on in the United States. And it is not accepted as healthcare by many, many Americans. Unfortunately, we do have a very large contingency of people. This woman just walked by me right now. On the front of her shirt said labor and delivery nurse, abortion is healthcare, pro-choice. And so we've got, those in the healthcare industry as well that are fighting for this right. Earlier this morning, we had several pro-life OBGYNs take the stage, and they talked about, really with the advancements in maternal, abortion is more dangerous for most women, that abortion is not the easy solution that it's been painted. And that I'm starting to have with a lot more people in the pro-life movement, which has been an exciting conversation, is that this really is in our culture, in our really, this is an issue of feminism. This is an issue of defining what women's worth and value is in our culture. And it's been a good conversation, I think. I think terms are beginning to understand that fit into a male normative culture, that women are trying to keep pace with men by rules that don't match a natural. Just wanted to share with you a little bit about, what's happening. Here's one right now. If you can see this woman, Catholic support abortion access. That's a hard one. That's a hard one for many Catholics to reconcile. Yeah, it's a busy day here at the Supreme Court. At some point, I'll head up a little bit closer and get some of the speakers. There's been some really powerful speakers. But yeah, it's getting busier and fuller. The Women's March will be coming through in a couple hours. We'll see what happens to the crowd at that point, but here's just, a look. One last look here, you can kind of get a sense of what's happening. Really, pro-choice and pro-life protesters are completely intermingled right now. Really, there is no separation between kind of the crowd. The speakers are in separate areas, but the people here that are present carrying signs are really on both sides, just right next to one another. Historic, interesting day. And I'm happy to be here to share it with you. I want to ask for your prayers right now for all the justices as they're hearing these arguments, and for, just good, fair judgment to rule. And yeah, for the sake of women's healthcare in our country, it's time for us to reset women's healthcare. It's time for us to do things that are actually going to help women, and women deserve better than just abortion as our as our solution to the authentic issues that we face. So thank you, everybody. Feel free to text me or post comments here throughout the day. I'm going to be trying to respond to everybody as we go. Yeah. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Bye.